Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So what happened today? Fed Chair Powell, FOMC meeting, press conference. What did he say exactly that triggered the market meltdown? Broader market had the worst day in a long time, and Bitcoin and crypto dumps. So what was said exactly? What was so bad? Let's discuss. And is this worrisome? Should we get greedy or fearful? Let's discuss. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Look at this. Bitcoin is now below $100,000. Wow. Just yesterday, we were at 108,000. Right now, we are 99.3. Is this a level we haven't seen for months? Have we fallen to a level we haven't seen since 6 months ago? Well, if you zoom out and you look back, this was a level we saw back in December 13th. So roughly 5 days ago. So a level we haven't seen since 5 days ago. So a week ago. So as bad as it seems, yeah, it's a level we saw 5 days ago. Okay, so that goes to show you how fast we have moved within the last week. It's been a very exciting week for Bitcoin. We kept going up and up and up and up. And yes, Fed Chair Powell did disrupt things. But I did tell you guys this morning, right? FOMC meetings always bring volatility. And I did say that even after the FOMC meeting, we usually see right afterwards. It's like clockwork. We always see volatility afterwards. And generally speaking, the day afterwards, we kind of still see a little bit, but we do always see a turnaround. And it's always like this. Wall Street and others, they panic. They just don't know how to react to these things. And it always makes like what Powell says worse than it sounds like. And then sure enough, like, late Thursday or Friday comes around and then things turn around, right? So what did he say exactly today that spooked the market? Well, let's see. Today, overall, the broader market, look at it. We haven't had this kind of fall in a long time. Dow was negative 1,100. NASDAQ was negative 700. We haven't seen this kind of dip in a long, long time. And it could just be because everyone's just taking some profits because markets are just hot. But Powell, basically, he did what everyone thought he was going to do, which was cut the Fed fund rate by 25 basis points. That was already, baked in. It was a 99% chance. But he did say a couple things. Number one, he did say that, during the discussion, they had like a little bit of second thoughts of whether or not this was the right move. Overall, they all agreed this was the right move, but they did have a little bit of debate of whether or not they should be cutting at all, right? Because of the inflation data. So that kind of hinted that maybe they were thinking about not cutting. And then he did also indicate because of that, they're only expecting to cut rates twice next year. Now, that could change, of course. That's just like giving a forecast. But of course, if the economy continues to be very, very, very bad next year, of course, that's going to change. That doesn't really mean anything, right? But that did scare the markets because he said only 2 rate cuts rather than, I don't know what the markets, what Wall Street was expecting, like a lot more, right? So that was said today. And another thing that was said was, one of the reporters asked whether or not, he thought having a reserve of Bitcoin was a good thing. And then he answered, the Fed cannot buy Bitcoin. So I don't know what people thought he was going to say. He didn't say no. He just said at this current time, the Fed cannot buy Bitcoin. But, you know, it doesn't really matter because if Trump says, you know, we're going to buy Bitcoin and make it a strategic reserve, we're going to do it, right? That's just, you know, that's just the way it is. So basically, bottom line is he didn't really say anything that's super scary. I think the market just overreacted, as always. We tend to see this all the time. The markets were very hot, and I think people just got spooked, and we have a lot of profit taking, but it would not surprise me if tomorrow, late tomorrow, probably not early tomorrow, late tomorrow or Friday, we see a resurgence and then the Santa rally continues. We have seen this playbook time and time and time again when we have a FOMC meeting, and no matter what is said, the markets just tank for whatever reason, and then a day and a half afterwards, 2 days afterwards, we see a rally and we continue forward. We have seen this a lot. There was really nothing that he said was really, really bad, really spooky, other than maybe there's only 2 rate cuts next year. That's really it. That's really it, right? But the thing is, like I've been saying, some people now understand, some people maybe still don't. When we have dips, they're gifts. I don't know how many times going forward in 2025, we will see Bitcoin below $100,000, and that's the reality. Today, I did not think, I told you guys we were going to get volatility, but I did not think we were going to fall below 100,000. I thought we would fall to, like, you know, a little bit, 105, 104. Maybe we touch about 99 and bounce, but I did not think we would be below, right? So you got to take advantage if you can, and if you can't, that's okay. Just as long as you don't panic. You don't want to be selling your life-changing wealth to the big whales and institutions that are buying and buying and buying behind the scenes. What I've been showing you guys every single day, they are still loading up. The retail that are panic selling, they are the ones buying behind the scenes, right? So you don't want to be selling to them. But overall today, look at this. It's not just Bitcoin and crypto. The entire broader market, S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow, basically everything sold off today. It's just like one of those days, right? Volatility, the VEX went up, shot up, everything shot up, right? It's just one of those days. Oh, this is that clip when, you know, one of the reporters asked about, here, I'll just play it for you guys. Hold on, right?
Assets that have been buoyant. Do you see any value or benefit in the U.S. government building a reserve of Bitcoin?
So, you know, we're not allowed to own Bitcoin. The Federal Reserve Act says what we can own, and we're not looking for a law change. That's the kind of thing for Congress to consider, but we are not looking for a law change at the Fed.
He didn't say no. He's just saying, well, at this time, we can't buy it, but if Congress says yes, we will do so. You know, that's about as good as an answer as he could give, right? So I'm surprised he was asked that. But anyways, 310 million liquidated today. Today was definitely not a good day. I got to say, I got hurt today too. But you know what? You take the good with the bad, right? If you're going to play with leverage, you got to take the good with the bad. Today was definitely one of those days, one of those shakeout days, because, man, we had some volatility, right? But nevertheless, again, you got to see days like today as gifts. Dips are our friends, okay? You don't want to be shaken out. You want to stay in the game because next year and the remaining of this year is going to be marvelous. And that is why, look at this. This is actually really amazing. Sales of the Bitcoin Standard, this book, has gone parabolic this month, right? That's awesome. We always like tend to look at like what retail interest is based on Google searches and stuff, but this is cool. People that want to learn more about Bitcoin, right? That want to like, you know, really understand it. This is a really good book to get started with, and it's skyrocketing. So that's good. That's really good. That shows it's not just institutions that are FOMOing in. There are a lot of retail people that want to learn more, and that is awesome. All right, last few things. Look at this tweet. Bitcoin plunging to levels not seen since last week. So again, it does seem like today's awful, which it is compared to yesterday. But, you know, gentle reminder that, hey, we're at the level that we were at a week ago, okay? So it's not like we fell to like a level 6 months ago or a level like even a month ago. We fell to a level just 5 days ago, okay? So definitely not time to be panicking. Again, I don't know how many days, if any, in 2025 that we will see Bitcoin below 100,000. And that's the honest truth. Once we break into 110, 120, 140, 50, that might be it. We might never, ever see 5-digit Bitcoin again. So take advantage if you can. And, you know, just to remind you guys, this year we had a lot of volatility, but, you know, quite frankly, this is nothing. If you look at some of the previous cycles when we had 20% dips, 25% dips, 30% dips, those were fun. Those were true shakeouts. Those were like days where you had to really just like turn off the computer and just step away. You know, like today is like a 10% dip. But like, man, back in the day in 2020, 2017, when we had 15, 20% dips, man, those were the days. We don't see those anymore. Okay, we just don't see those days anymore. But man, those were harsh. Those were harsh. And as we move forward, we're going to level out, right? We're not going to see even 10% days as we move forward and go bigger and bigger and bigger. Maybe for the alts, but for Bitcoin, as it gets bigger and more mature and more holders, we're going to see less and less volatility. And the last thing, you know, I'll show you is this. You know, this is measuring tops for Bitcoin. And as you can see, we're nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. 2025. That's when we will hit top. Right now, still, great time to accumulate. Great time to DCA. Not time to be panicking. That's for sure. All right. That is it. Tomorrow, we'll see. Right now, the pre-market for tomorrow, little green, right? Like I've been saying, based on history, I think tomorrow the U.S. market will kind of start out like rocky, okay? Like kind of mixed. And there's a good chance in the afternoon is when like we start really rallying up. Based on history, that's what we have seen before. But maybe, who knows? Maybe tomorrow we just start rallying already. But that's generally what happens after a FOMC meeting, because Wall Street will realize what Powell said wasn't that bad at all. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's do some Q&A. hey, today is DCA day. It's perfect for DCA day. It's about as good as it can be for DCA day because we had this tremendous dip. Let's see, even with the dip, let's see what the portfolio's at. See, it doesn't even register. Even with today's dip, all time still up 118%. See, it doesn't even matter. But week to week, let's see. It's down 10% for the week because of today's dip. But again, all time still up 118%. See, if you DCA over long term, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't, it doesn't even register. But because of today's dip, it's a really good buying opportunity. Well, I think I'm pretty underweight at this point with XRP. And you can't go wrong with Bitcoin. So I'm just going to go with Bitcoin XRP. I'm actually pretty underweight, very underweight in XRP. I have not been DCing XRP during the winter. And since Bitcoin fell down, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep it simple today, guys. Where's the add button here? Add transaction. All right, $50. Oops. All right. I think that's right. Let me make sure. 50-50. Yeah. Okay. So this week, I kept it simple. Bought Bitcoin, $50 in Bitcoin, $50 in XRP. Very simple. All right, that's it. That's it. Bitcoin's coming up. It'll be great if we get above 100. And then that's the last time we see 5-digit Bitcoin. All right. Q&A. Let's see. Let me scroll up. Let me see if I missed anything. Mari. All right. Iman, say you have 10K. Where will you put it during the dip to turn to 50 or 100K? You're just talking about 5x, 10x, right? Almost anything will give you that 5x, 10x. Bitcoin probably won't give you that 5x. Bitcoin itself probably give you 2 to 3x, but anything else. I mean, you look at my tracker here. I think Sui can do it. XRP can do it. You got Cardano. You got Chainlink, Avalanche, Solana, Injective, VeChain. You got a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff can do it. Even the big caps, a lot of them need to do a 5x just to get back to their previous high. Ryan, I can't. Same question that I just answered for Iman. I can't pick for you. But if you've been watching me for a while, you know which ones I cover. I just showed you which ones I have in my DCA portfolio. That gives you a hint of which ones I do like. Hey, we're right back up. Right back up above 100K. That may be the last time we see 5-digit Bitcoin. Kyle, will GameFi be big in 2025? Is DFK? I like DFK a lot. I hang out with Dreamer. I talk to him all the time. So I know they are working very hard. GameFi so far have not paid off. Okay. No game has done that well. If the narrative does flip, then I would say yes. But right now, games have not done very well. That's the honest truth. So we'll see. But I do know that DFK is working very hard, and they are executing and making partnerships for sure. Do you feel that with the strategic reserve and other countries following suit that we will really have a top next year? Seems like everything we have known from the past runs may change. That's what I've been saying. I think realistically, I mean, in the past we have always talked about how we could have super cycles. This is the cycle that may actually have a super cycle, because if countries really start implementing strategic reserves and they're FOMOing on Bitcoin, and we have ETFs now, that continue to hoard Bitcoin, and companies like MicroStrategy that continues to buy billions upon billions of Bitcoin, the reality is they're not going to all just dump at the end of 2025. And if they don't dump, then who's going to be dumping? Then how are we going to go into crypto winter, right? So the reality is we could have a super cycle. We could have like mini dips. We could have like a 20, 30, 40, even 50% dip. But then we could just recover right back up. We might not have the same 2-year crypto winter where we go down 80% before we recover, right? So going forward, the cycle may be different. Robert, thank you. Mari, welcome. Jason, Powell is correct when he said the Fed won't purchase Bitcoin. It'll be a treasury that will do the purchasing. Is that correct? Isn't treasury prints? They're the ones printing, right? Or does treasury also buy? Yeah, I don't know. I guess they also do the buying. Well, Powell wasn't asked if he was going to buy. He was asked whether or not it was smart to have a treasury, have a strategic reserve. JRR, going to sell all my alts next year and just keep Bitcoin. Yeah, but next year is when we might actually have altcoin season. But you know what? Who knows? Next year is going to be very different. Stop buying crypto and start buying Chevy Cavaliers. I think Chevy Cavaliers are already gone. Hey, Bank of Japan holds rates at 0.25. That's pretty good. No one wants to see Japan raise their rates. So Japan is the only country on the planet, I believe, that are looking to raise their rates. But, I mean, that's good that they're not. Lazaro, crypto traders are built different. We're here to retire bloodline. Little dips don't face us. You're right, unless you're like heavily leveraged. And then today was very painful. Yeah. But you know what? The good thing is we're recovering. Tomorrow, I think sometime tomorrow afternoon or nighttime, we're going to recover in a big way. Friday and into the weekend, we should be almost fully recovered, if not even higher. I think today was just like, again, overreaction over nothing. Like nothing. There was nothing said that was scary at all. Really nothing said that was scary at all. When do you think Bitcoin decouple from high-risk assets in the stock market? At some point, when Bitcoin probably surpassed the market cap of gold, at that point, it'll probably truly be decoupled. But, you know, then again, sometimes even gold is coupled with the stock market too. When there's like crazy dumping of the stock market, sometimes gold is even dumping too. So I don't know if it's truly ever going to be decoupled, but at that point, when Bitcoin's is at the same market cap or bigger market cap than gold, I think at that point it'll probably be pretty close to that point. Debo, thank you, new member, and Dabo, love your live streams. Thank you. When will we see you play basketball again? I mean, sure, I could always play again. I just don't want to do it too much because then it makes people think I'm like showing off or something. So try not to do it often. Crazy that we got to a point where people are panicking after a dip to 100K. Let it sink in. Yes. We dipped to a level that we haven't seen since 5 days ago. So, I mean, that kind of shows you how fast we moved within the last 5 days. We got accustomed to new highs every day for 5 days, and now we basically fell down to a point that we were at 5 days ago. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, that free throw is kind of cool. And that was a perfect swish. Thoughts on Tesla stock? Tesla stock has been killing it recently because of Elon's involvement with Trump. But overall, today, well, they haven't been killing it today, but overall, they've been doing really well. I'm still sticking with MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Robinhood, you know, the Bitcoin related stuff. Yeah, I got away from Nvidia. I'm just going all in on crypto related stocks. But yeah, Tesla has been on a tear since November. But, you know, they're 1.4 trillion already, you know. Their upside is more limited compared to, say, like MicroStrategy, right? That's how I view it. Why buy crypto stocks when you could just play crypto? Won't you see? Yeah, it's just because I have some money in my broker's account. Like 99% of my money is in crypto. So, but I have some left over from before. Like right now, right, with this rebound, it looks like that 98. So if you look at like from the top, right, what percentage was that? I think that's right around 10%. If I had to guess, that's about a 10% dip. Which is probably, you know, that's about right. 9%. That's decent. What was the last shakeout that we had? I think this is probably around this one right here. That's probably around 9% too. Let's see. Actually, that one was a little bit more. That was 11%. But that was a little bit quicker. That was a really quick bounce. But, you know, what we had today was 9%. You could see a little bit more volume. So a little bit more intentional, but hey, we got through it. These 11%, 9%, as bad as they seem, if you live through some of the previous cycles when we had 15% days, 20% days, they were much worse, guys. And yeah, those days happened before. And they were not fun. Not fun at all. And when Bitcoin dipped 20% or 15%, the alts were down 30%. Yeah, the alts went down 30% in a single day. Those days were not fun. Yeah, they happened before, guys. But you know what? Just means that you can buy your favorite crypto at a discount. Like Sui. Sui's down, you know, it was down to like $4. Now it's back to $4.33, which is still at a huge discount compared to the $5 they were at. XRP was down to $2.17, big discount compared to $2.70. They were at $2.70 just yesterday. That's a huge discount. It's like 20% off. Cardano was, you know, Cardano was like 110 yesterday. Now it's at 97. You got like Ondo. Recent high was 214. Now it's at 187. You got Stacks. Stacks fell down hard. Stacks was 260 just 2 days ago. Now it's at 196. Chainlink was at $31 recently. Now it's at 25. That's a bargain. It fell down to 23 just a few moments ago. That is a huge discount right there. 20% discount. So if you love Chainlink, you could buy Chainlink at a 20% discount right now. Just from 2 days ago. James Wallace. But George, some alts are down 35% in 2 weeks. Again, if you believe in those alts, right? You like those alts due to the fundamentals or due to the community or due to the leadership, you should enjoy that. You should enjoy that you can buy your favorite alts that are now 35% cheaper now versus 2 weeks ago. Just like Chainlink is down 20% from 2 days ago. Chainlink is a fantastic project. Did anything change from 2 days ago versus now besides its discount of 20%? No. Then why would you like it less 2 days later at a 20% discount? Oleg, remember May 2022, like 30% drop in 2 to 3 days. I remember those days. In 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, I mean, we had 15% drop days. We had like constant 12% drop days. When FTX collapsed, like I don't even remember. We had like a 30% drop day. It was horrible. Horrible. Those black swan events when Binance was sued, when CZ was indicted, you know, those days were horrible. Horrible. Nothing like now. This is like cakewalk compared to what happened, you know, a few years ago. Could super cycle be possible this time because Saylor is buying billions of Bitcoin every week nonstop? It's not just him. The ETFs too. ETFs are buying more than even Saylor. Saylor, ETFs, now the miners. You got others like Metaplanet and others that are joining in. You have tens of billions being bought every week. It's having an effect for sure. Ricky Romero. How high do you think Sui will go? If you had 2K right now, what would you buy with this dip? With 2K, man, you could buy anything. I would probably spread it between like Bitcoin, Sui, XRP, like those three probably right now. They're probably the best, hottest right now. I don't know. I don't know how high Sui could go. They're already at all-time high, so it's kind of hard to judge. But hey, they have to do a 10x just to get to where XRP is. So I think their upper potential could be high as long as they continue to execute. Doesn't mean that they will keep going, but they continue to execute, continue to onboard games and dApp makers and build their community. They could do very well. AVAX, I am a big fan of AVAX. AVAX has been super... I don't want to say quiet because they just released their AVAX 9000, which is a new like interoperable protocol that allows messaging. But they have been, you know, they topped out around 55 and then they fell down, but they're really attractive right now, I think, at $40, considering they were just at $55. They haven't really recovered right now. Even with the Bitcoin recovery, they're still kind of low. They haven't really, you don't see any green right now. But I think they're in a really good spot. Yeah, they're still down 23%. They're American based. They're listed on Coinbase. They're talking to Trump too, and you know, heavily involved with games, RWA, and a little bit into memes. So they're positioned well. On a 4-hour, they're very oversold. You can see RSI is very oversold. Rich, gee, I watched one of your old videos from 2020 when Bitcoin was 11,000. Taking me back, seemed like it was yesterday. Man, those were the days. Those were the days. 2020, man, that seemed like it was yesterday, 2020. But that was 4 years ago already. Almost 5 years now. And I still remember those days. Time flies. Time really flies. I still have my old dog Puff with me back then. And I was still broke back then too. My channel didn't really take off then either. I was still struggling back then. You know, a lot of things were different back then. And I was talking about Bitcoin going to 100,000 back then. No one believed it. You guys should watch some of my old videos. I was talking about Bitcoin going to 6 figures. Everyone kept saying I was delusional. Everyone kept saying I was making stuff up. Everyone was saying that a broken clock is right twice a day or whatever. And it finally happened. 4 years later. Do you still like Sol? I still love Sol. One of my biggest holdings. Sol is still going to be dominant this cycle. Don't worry about it. I think a lot of people are like starting to get worried about Sol. There is no worry about Sol. Like, if every metric on Sol is still like sky high, still above Ethereum in every single way. I still think they have a really good chance of flipping Ethereum. So MJ Matrix, do you know where I could sell my kidney by? I do not, and I don't suggest you doing so. By the way, guys, it has nothing to do with crypto, but if you guys have some time over this holiday weekend and you want to watch a good show, subscribe to Apple TV and watch a show called Severance. It's a show unlike anything else out there. It's actually a show from like 4 years ago or 3 years ago. And I just heard about it recently, so I watched it. It starts out really slow. It's about a group of people that works at this company, and it goes through this procedure so that they create like an alternative person that only exists in their company, and they can't ever leave their company, and the person outside the company can't remember what happens inside the company. So basically they have two personalities. It's a really fascinating show. And I just happened to watch it. And the good thing is season 2 is coming out in January. I didn't know that. So people that originally watched it basically waited 3 years until season 2. So if you happen to watch it now, then you don't have to wait 3 years because season 2 is coming out in January. And it's called Severance. It's really unique. Really, really unique. Yeah, I gotta watch Silo, but like my kids are afraid of watching. I actually watch Severance with my kids, so. What do you think about Pith? Been following it for years. Pith is good. It's unique. It's an oracle that's a little bit more better tech than Chainlink, but you know they don't have as much momentum. They don't have enough. They don't work with as much chains or DApps. But you know they're still solid, and they're a lot closer to Solana, and I think they're still a very solid project. There's another show on Apple TV that's really good. Dark Matter. Yeah, Dark Matter I watched before. It's a great sci-fi show. Apple TV has some good shows. I gotta watch Silo next. I hear really good things about it. Sandbox, I'm not a fan of Sandbox. Metaverses just do not, I mean, they just don't seem appealing to me at all. Oh, Dark Matter is canceled? I guess it makes sense, right? Because season 2 would be based on the side characters and no one wants to see that. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because season 2 would be based on the 2 side characters and they're not main characters. My third super chat, Peak. Man, I don't know, man. I didn't see the first 2, and I don't know anything about Peak. So you just wasted 3 super chats. What is Peak? Well, first of all, right off the bat, this looks horrible. 340 million market cap, but FDV at 2.2 billion. So that's bad. That's really bad. So circulating supply of 647 million, but total supply of 4.2 billion. So this is a much larger project than it appears. So it kind of fakes you out into thinking it's a smaller project than it is. So don't be fooled by that. So it's really a $2.2 billion project, not a $341 million project. So just keep that in mind. Second of all, it is build D-pins for energy, mobility, connectivity. Right there. Anything that's involving D-pin for energy, like, that just turns me off because I've seen a lot of projects that's like trying to like disrupt energy and stuff like that, and they have all not been successful. So if this is something to do with decentralizing energy in some way, it's probably not going to work. It's too vast. The Expanse was good until the final season, and then it really became bad. All right, guys. I'll let you guys go. Get some rest or take the opportunity to go DCA some more. Just know that, hey, Powell, he kind of like caused a little bit of meltdown, but you know what? He didn't really say anything bad. And the best way to think about today is, hey, you get to buy your favorite crypto or Bitcoin at a discounted price. Did anything change from yesterday to today? Or did anything change from 5 days ago to today other than the price is cheaper? That's it. Fundamentally, nothing has changed. So you should like things even better now, right? So stay strong, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time as usual, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good night. Take care.